For the A&A Champions of Growth podcast, I'm Matthew Schwartz. Remember quiet quitting? A catch-all to describe people just meeting their job description at work? According to Gallup, quiet quitters made up 50% of the workforce in 2022. Then there was the Great Resignation during the initial and norm-shattering years of COVID-19, when a record 4.5 million workers, or about 3% of the U.S. workforce, quit their jobs each month in 2021 and 2022. That was followed by the so-called Great Reshuffling, in which some workers quit their jobs while others quit and eventually rejoined the labor force, or got another gig with little or no break. These various terms quickly fizzled from the national lexicon, but there's still an awful lot of job churn out there. According to a recent Microsoft and LinkedIn survey of more than 30,000 people in 31 countries, nearly half of professionals say they're considering quitting in the year ahead, higher than the 40% who said the same ahead of the Great Resignation. Whether it's the Great Resignation, quiet quitting, or whatever the media dub the next workplace phenomenon, all roads lead to the same destination: workplace burnout. And that's bad news for business leaders. For CMOs and other top executives, who not only want to retain talent, but keep their employees engaged and fulfilled, burnout is creating a big problem. A recent report from the Society of Human Resource Management, the world's largest HR organization, found that 44% of more than 1,400 U.S. employees surveyed feel burned out at work, 45% feel emotionally drained from their work, and 51% feel used up at the end of the workday. Beyond how your employees feel, there's also a pretty good chance burnout is cutting into your top and bottom lines. A 2021 survey from Gallup found that burned out employees cost $3,400 out of every $10,000 in salary because they are disengaged in their work. Taken together, the data should set off alarm bells for business leaders. Burnout is creating a lethal combination: higher turnover and lower productivity. So what are the remedies? The status quo, and empty platitudes about so-called work-life balance, cannot hold for companies that understand that their most precious assets are their employees. Instead, you might try the following tips. Number 1, create circuit breakers for your employees. The onus is on senior managers to jettison an always-on mindset that makes people feel like they're just trying to keep up. Create some rules about not having to respond to emails after work hours or on weekends. Be selective with the number of meetings people are expected to attend. Reduce the busy work and put a premium on playing to people's individual work strengths. As remote work increases, this can be a nascent way for brands to distinguish themselves from their competitors. Number 2, enforce mandatory minimum PTO. We've all witnessed it at one time or another. The person who fails to take any vacation time whatsoever and pretty soon looks like all the blood has been drained from their face. This is not unusual, but it is unsustainable. In the same way that companies make sure their employees fill out XYZ insurance enrollment forms and attend XYZ seminars, senior managers must also employ their workers to take their PTO with gusto. And perhaps companies can have a little lighter touch then. Use it or lose it. Words matter. Number 3, offer paid time off among workers for volunteer days. This is a potential win-win. Give employees the time and space to recharge their batteries with the knowledge that your business recognizes the value of having them see the world through a different lens and are willing to pay for it. Most important, a program like this should be in addition to your existing PTO policy and should not force employees to borrow from existing paid time off. By giving them a chance to stretch, employees will bring a renewed sense of optimism back to the workplace. Burnout is serious business, and senior managers will have to change their tune if they don't want to be overrun by it. Unlike their predecessors, younger generations don't want to work themselves down to a stump. That doesn't mean they're slackers who don't want to make meaningful contributions to their company, develop new skill sets, and make themselves available. They just don't want to be ruled by email, unrealistic expectations, or a boss who has a torturous relationship with empathy. If brands want to maintain their attraction for both new and existing talent, it may be time for new thinking when it comes to ensuring workers are content and burnout is kept at bay. Have you had any success tackling burnout at your organization? Share your tips for doing so in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching.